What is up, everybody? It is Midwest Raider fans coming at you with another video for our channel. Today you just have Midwest Raider again. Jimmy's still out, but hopefully he'll be back soon. Other than that, I just want to say this is going to be the preview for Colts Raiders this Sunday, week 5 in the NFL 2025. Can't wait to see it. I think it's going to be a big game because either they're going to be 1-4 or we're going to be 2-3. So I think the 2-3 sounds a little bit better. And hopefully we're going to go after that. We could get on a little bit of a run. We'll see the Titans as well, which aren't having a really good year. And maybe we could be 3-3 by the time we reach the Chiefs, which would be a pretty big storyline. So we have a lot to talk about today, guys, and I can't wait to get into it. But first, I just got to say, Raider Nation, we need you. We need you to join this channel. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Let's share all the knowledge. Let's watch all the channels. Let's support the Raider Nation, no matter what channel it is. If you're watching Simone Raider, if you're watching Mitchell Renz, if you're watching Raider Honcho, if you're whoever, I'm watching all of them. I want all the knowledge, and I want to represent this Raider community, this Raider Nation, the best I can by following everybody that I can and watching and getting all that knowledge. So thank you guys so much. Please like, subscribe, and share. And I can't wait to see you on our next video or tutorial, but let's get into this preview right now. All right, Raiders Colts, guys. In this matchup, we are currently tied 11-11 in this matchup. So both teams have won 11, both teams have lost 11. This is going to be bragging rights for the whole year, and so it could be a big game from that perspective as well. Like, have we beaten the Colts 12 times? Hopefully we can get that done this week. Now, the Colts are coming off of a not fantastic game. It was still good, but it just wasn't enough to get them a win last week. And so that could play in our advantage a little bit. Maybe we could get in their heads and get them on the downslope. But at the same time, we've seen it where teams have a terrible game the week before, and then they come to play the Raiders and we get stomped. So it could go either way. We've seen it both ways, but they did lose against the Rams, and significantly with some big gash plays. They gave up a lot of yards, and so we're going to talk about that here in a little bit. But definitely, it is a chance and it's an opportunity. I really think we have a chance. I think it's a 50-50 chance for it. But let's just talk about reality right here. Every game, the Raiders have came out different. And honestly, this could be the whole preview video right here, but we just need, and this sounds so cliche, that we just need a full game from everybody. We need the offense to show up, we need the defense to show up, and we need special teams to show up, which failed us last week. Think about it. We had 4 turnovers last week, but all we needed was a Daniel Carlson field goal, and for that unit to block for an extra half a second, and we would have won that game with 4 turnovers in that game. It's huge. We had some offensive play. We had some good defensive play, but special teams failed us last week, and that's the honest truth. So we need a complete game, as cliche as that sounds. Let's just talk about it really quick. Recap. So go watch my videos, guys. Go watch Midwest Raider fans. In the past videos, we've talked about a complete game because every game we've showed up differently, except for the first week where we did have a pretty significant complete game from the Raiders. Then after that, we had lack of offense against the Chargers, the Commanders. We had all kinds of problems. We had defensive. Nobody wanted to really show up in that game. Then we had a special teams error in the Bears game. So, like I said, we just need a complete game, and I think we can get a win. So enough of that, but like I said, that could be the whole preview. We just need a complete game from all phases of the game. We need the Raider team to show up awesomely. So, all right, but let's talk about some Raider players that we need to motivate the team. And it starts right here with Geno Smith. And I know every week he comes on, he says, I need to get better, I need to do better. But he honestly just needs to make better decisions. Honestly, he needs to play a little bit more conservative on our side of the field, go crazy on their side of the field, throw 50-50 balls up in the end zone. just make sure they're a little bit longer and they're not short. I think that's the biggest problem that I've seen with Geno. He's just throwing a little bit short, not getting it able for the Raider players to make some 50-50 ball chances, because it's always going towards the other team more than the Raiders. And then he also loves to try to play that laser ball into the tight windows with coverage, like with 3 people around on our side of the field. We don't need that. We don't need that. Play conservative, run the ball, use your legs a little bit more like you did against the Bears, roll out a little bit more, get yourself some extra time to make some decisions, or throw the ball away. Go to the next play. There's nothing wrong with that. I know we were getting kind of sick of seeing some of that with Derek Carr in the past, but now, honestly, I wish that would happen just a little bit more, so we could see some extended drives, some punts, because there's been so much turnover with interceptions. Also, everybody's talking about Janty. He did have a fantastic game last week, but that fumble, nobody really talks about that, because that was points to the other team, which we could have held onto if we hadn't got that fumble. So that was huge. A fumble, they got some points out of it, and it could have made a difference, especially with how tight that game was. So I know it totally wasn't his fault with getting bull rushed from miscommunication on the line, and they just let somebody literally right through the middle to go hit him. But still need to hold on to that ball. Janty still need work, in my opinion. He is looking good. He is rising. He is a rookie, and he's a rising rookie for sure. But he still needs to get in the playbook. He still needs to learn how to block a little bit better, in my opinion. And he still needs to be a little bit more decisive when picking a lane, either busting it outside or going inside like he wants. Because sometimes I've still seen him just run into the back of some people. He needs to kind of chip off some people. All the great backs chip off people and try to find the lane. They just don't run into the back of people sometimes. So my opinion, let me know what you guys think, good or bad, I don't care. But that's my opinion. All right, so talked about Geno, talked about Janty. We need some big play by our receivers. Like I said, I know the past Geno's had great receivers. Like Seattle always had great tall receivers, run good routes, and could jump, had crazy jump sets. We have some of that, but we don't have the best of it. And Geno loves to throw that jump ball. He wants to either laser it into you or throw something up high where you have to kind of go make a play or come back to the ball. So one, Raider receivers need to come back to the ball, or Geno needs to make it all the way to them or in front of them, which we do have some speed demons that can do that. And so we just need a little bit overall better play from the quarterback and the receivers, in my opinion, to get things done there. The defense, in my opinion, played really good last week, but they were just gassed by the end of that game. 35 minutes on the field compared to the offensive's 28. So by the end of that game, they were condition-wise were a little bit tired, and they kind of broke because the Bears led a long drive all the way to the end zone to score on that drive. And so they kind of broke when we needed them, but I can't really blame them. They stopped them so many other times in the beginning of the game. So I'm not really blaming the defense, but we did have a chance. And then ultimately we lost the game with special teams. So we need a complete game from special teams. We need good blocking. We need Daniel to kick the ball, get it out quick, get the holds down quick, all that good stuff for them. All right, so that's kind of what our team needs to do. We need good games from all those players, and the biggest one in my head is Geno. Though we really need Geno to just play a little bit more conservative, run the ball a little bit more, peel out a little bit more, be mobile like he is, and just be a little bit more conservative, in my opinion. And I hate saying that, but that's what he needs to do. All right. Let's talk about the Colts. The Colts definitely have Daniel Jones. He's a good quarterback. They've been scoring 29 points plus, which is better than our 24 points that we've been able to get in the last 2 games. But that is good over the 20 points that we've been scoring prior to that. We couldn't get over that hump, but now we're over the hump, but teams are getting more. And so we need our defense to step up, but we need our offense to also try to score a little bit more. So Daniel Jones has been looking good, but he did throw 2 interceptions last game. And so maybe we can compete with that. They were able to get to him a couple times sack-wise, which is good. But our defense has had issues getting to the quarterback. We have hurries, we have pressures, we have batted down balls, we've had some interceptions, all those types of things. But getting those sacks has been a little bit troublesome for our defense. So we have to get Max. We have to get Tyree Wilson. We have to get Adam Butler to move around a little bit there. We have to get Malcolm Coons in there, and we have to figure out ways to get pressure on Daniel and keep it going throughout the game every once in a while just to mix it up. So definitely pressure on Daniel Jones is very, very important on any game. I'm going to say that about getting pressure on the quarterback, but Daniel Jones, we don't want him to get in a rhythm because he can score 29 points plus on the teams that he's playing. They do have some weapons. Michael Pittman Jr., of course. Adonai Mitchell has had a good game. They have a good tight end as well. They have really good receivers in general. Mitchell had a really good game with 96 plus yards on 2 catches. He's their burner, and so they're going to try to hit him for quick passes. And of course, Michael Pittman Jr. is also going to be all over the field. So we need to kind of contain those 2 guys with our secondary, which is troublesome because, like I said, our secondary is good. But I think if Polamalu hits a couple of those guys, they're going to want to think about twice about catching that ball. Also, the biggest guy, of course, Jonathan Taylor. Now, think about it. 2 years ago, Gardner Minshew was playing with the Colts. They did beat us this game, but he had Jonathan Taylor, and we were able to corral him. I remember watching that game, but actually they just had a few plays here and there, and they were able to squeak by with a win. So I know we can't hold Jonathan Taylor. Those were with past defenses. I get it. But I think we can do that. I think we can contain him. He does average about 76 yards a game. So if we can keep him somewhere in there, that's great. But he does, no matter what, gets about 4.5 yards a clip. So we have to contain that. And we have to contain Jonathan Taylor. We have to play good zone defenses on these wide receivers. And maybe we can get some more picks. Because they did throw some picks last week. So they're coming off an off game. Hopefully we can keep them on an off game as well. The Colts defense is also pretty good, but they're not that good because they did give up, like I said, 375 yards to Matthew Stafford and some running along with that. So the game plan. Now, my game plan is not what everybody else thinks watching a lot of other channels, and they're like, we need to use Janty and just cram it up the cram hole. I don't think we need to do that. I think we need to actually keep it kind of even. I think we need to do a little bit more passing, knowing that Stafford was able to get 375 yards. We need to kind of, I know Geno can throw 41 attempts in a game, so I think we need to go a little bit pass heavy, in my opinion. We need to use Janty when we need to keep it pretty close to even, but I wouldn't mind if we passed a little bit in this game, as long as Geno's playing a little bit more conservative, also scrambling out. I don't think they really are going to care. I don't think they're really going to care about Geno's running. So I don't think they're going to be putting spies in there. And so I think there's an opportunity for Geno to be able to run a little bit against the Colts defense, because I don't think they're going to be planning for that. They're going to be looking at Janty. They're going to be looking at Tucker and or speed demons. They're going to be double covering Myers or back Bowers. If these guys are getting covered, somebody is open always. And I just don't get why Geno sometimes can't find that open guy. But if he can't, I hope he continues to scramble and get out of the pocket a little bit as well. So I think that's kind of the game plan. I think we need to go a little bit, just a hair pass heavy, keep the run game in there. Hopefully one of those run plays, we can get Janty to break a pretty good size. I think having Mostert back in the offense helped with that 30-yard run that he had last week. Also, his pass blocking ability on third down is great. His catching ability on third down is great. So mixing those two up when Janty needs a break, I think was fantastic. And you guys saw it when we had him back in the lineup. And I've been saying it for like 2-3 weeks that we need Mostert back. His veteran knowledge and everything definitely helped, in my opinion. So go back, watch the videos. I said it. We needed him back in the lineup. We need Bowers to get healthy and get that knee brace off so he can be the dynamic player that we need. But, you know, that's over time. And we need Michael Mayer. We got a picture in the back. We need him back in the lineup. He's Mr. October on the Raiders calendar. But we need him to be back in the lineup. Hopefully he gets back from that concussion. We need him for blocking, and we also need him to do some catches too, because he's a great pass catcher as well. So that's what I'm thinking this week, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Hopefully this has been helpful and fun, and please like, subscribe, share, all those good things. Follow the Midwest Raiders. Can't wait to get Jimmy back as well, but that's all in the future. Till then, you got Midwest Raider repping and keeping things fresh, keeping things going on the Midwest Raiders channel. So thank you, and as always, guys, go Raiders.